to a 10-point game there with 5.5 minutes left. I thought we really battled, which was a positive sign, especially in light of Tuesday. But we just the margins are very thin for us as a group, and when you don't have Jordan Burgess, they're even thinner. And we just didn't make enough plays. We had a couple lapses with the scouting report, but give Cincinnati credit. They're tough. They're well coached, and they've got good, tough players that know how to win and know how to come into an environment like this. So, I thought our fans were great. I thought the environment was great. We're very thankful for them, and we're not far away from being a really good team. And we've got to just handle the details and keep pounding it and get back to work, and we're going to be just fine.
Coach, what do you think is missing from right now for this team to be, as you mentioned, a really good team?
It's the same story in just about all the, I would group this in with like Wisconsin and Florida State. Probably this game's fairly. Some of those is just, it's just one or two plays, just detail-oriented plays. And my point is, if we just today we played much better. Went back to a tried and true basketball formula. My favorite, just shoot it close to the rim. We didn't jack a bunch of threes. The threes we took, with the exception of one or two late, were pretty good threes. We didn't throw the ball all over the court today, which helped, and we gave ourselves a chance to set our defense. But the details are, we missed 3 front ends of one-on-ones. We missed some critical one-on-ones. At the end of the game there, where Cobb hit the 3, we were in our matchup. When they throw it to the middle of the matchup, you fan out, and we had a guy sink in to take away something that wasn't there, and then they fan it out to him. So it's the same. Florida State, we have a trap in a tie game, and we rotate down instead of rotate out, and it turned into a 3 for Xavier Raython-Mays when it should have been a pick 6 layup for us. So all those things, they add up when you play teams that are supremely talented, and we've got good players, but we need some guys to step up and make some plays. It's really as simple as that. We've got to make plays.
Do you look at this game at all as an anomaly, considering Melvin was helped out a field goal?
Well, they did a great job. They switch and run around with them, and they did a very good job on him. But other teams are. If you watched our team, wouldn't you try to take him away? And we got some creative ways to get him the ball, but they guarded him pretty well. We ran some, 4 or 5 ATOs after timeout sets for him, and they had him bottled up pretty good. They were ready for a lot of them, and 2 of them were brand new. They had never seen. So they're solid defensively. They're 11th in the country defensively for a reason. It was good to see Gilmore step up, Corey step up, some of those other guys. I thought Jaquan played a pretty good floor game today. It wasn't perfect, but he played pretty well. So there's certainly some positives to take away.
What are some of the things right now? 18 on Tuesday, only a couple tonight. What are the things missing from Justin Tillman's game to make him more of a consistent player?
Well, there's really, I just kind of go with the hot hand between those two, between Gilmore and Tillman. And Gilmore, today they were switching stuff, so they sunk way in. And when Gilmore hit threes, you could put Gilmore on the perimeter, so they couldn't sink in with his guy, and they had to stretch with Gilmore's guy. So it just made more sense to play Gilmore because they were stretching with him, and it opened up driving lanes for us. Georgia Tech was hedging, so they were over-helping with Tillman's guys, so it made sense to stick Tillman in the short corner and dip it down to him. That's why I got all those same little half hooks, half shots. So it just depends on how teams play, and then you adjust based on how they play.
Well, you've been really good at the free throw line the last 2 games.
Yeah, don't remind me.
So much, and they were terrific. And that kind of looks like the story of it was consistent.
Yeah, we missed some momentum ones. I think, it was a 2-point game when we missed the front end of the one-on-one in the second half. We missed 2 front ends of the one-on-one in the first half. So it was, that certainly hurt us. Certainly hurt us.
Let's have 2 more. When you, Coach, when you took over at UT Chattanooga, it was kind of a rough start, and you're trying to do something, and you had some realizations that, hey, I got to mix things up. What are some big sort of realizations you're having at 10 games in? Like, I thought maybe these guys could do this, but I need to.
We've adjusted a lot. I mean, I know what we're doing now is going to work. Like, we got the right formula now. We tinkered with it a little bit with some of the earlier games, but we've got the right formula now. Just like when I knew I'd hit on it at Chattanooga, we've hit on it here. We've got the right formula. Now we just got to do it better. And we've got, our margins are extremely thin. We're not, let's call it what it is. We're not as talented as we've been. All right? We're not. Now we've got good players. We got good players, and they'll fight hard. But every little detail matters when, even with Burgess, we got warts. And when you don't have him, every little thing is magnified. And so we're not, the scheme is solid. What we're doing is good. What we're doing is good. We've got, is it perfect? No. But, we were better today. We sat down off 2 feet and made some more layups in there. Sure, would I like our 2-point percentage to be better? Yeah, it's horrific. Would I like for us to draw more fouls? Yeah, that was a point of emphasis that I've had. Well, we drew more fouls today than we have in the last 2 or 3 games. We shot it well at Georgia Tech. We were 12 for 12. We didn't shoot any free throws. So there's hidden points that we're still missing. You go back to Chattanooga, like our teams were really good in the league in terms of free throw rate. We got to the foul line a ton, and we didn't foul a lot, and we're kind of opposite of that. And so that's like a small trend that we can try to turn. Now, I'm hoping, we've played a pretty good schedule. We've played some teams like those guys got 3 shot blockers. They're extremely long. Florida State's extremely long. Georgia Tech's got 2 huge guys in there. So we've played teams that their length really bothers you. Moving forward, there's nobody else will play that has the type length that those guys have. So it's not wishing one hand, spitting the other, see which one fills up quicker. It's just hoping that some of the stuff that was tough finishes now will be much easier finishes as the competition evens out a little bit. Does that
I was looking for the best answer.
Does that answer what you're asking? Does that answer what you're asking? So we're not far off, guys. Like, the sky's not falling. We're not far off. We've taken on a brutal schedule with a team that is still growing, and it's going to help us in conference. We're going to be good in conference. It's going to help us in conference. We need to get better here as we move forward. We got to get better with the details. But there's hidden points out there that we could have gotten to beat a top 25 team here. The only thing I've been disappointed with in the losses really was the last 8 to 10 minutes of the Georgia Tech game. Everything else, I could pretty much live with what's happened in the losses. And so, I can't fault our guys. We're playing hard. We're flying around. We just don't have very big margins. And I know everybody, we got good players, but everybody else has good players too. Everybody else has good players too. And we're trying to throw that thing in the post, and we're going to keep feeding the post. But, in these non-conference games, Ellis is a 6'10" version of Mo. So you just can't throw it in and hook it over him all the time. And the catches aren't clean. Now, when we get in league, we'll be playing 6'7", 6'8" guys. We can throw it in, and then it's on us to finish and score over those guys. So there's just, there's some, that's the difference. Just simply put, that's the difference. We have too many mismatches and going in, and I think now the mismatches will hopefully even out as we move forward. So simplistically, what we're doing solid, and we could not change hardly anything except who we're playing, and you would think the details are a lot better. We could sit in here on Tuesday and you say, golly, y'all really handled those details. Well, yeah, we didn't have to react as quick because they may not have as good athletes. And Mo really caught the ball cleanly this game. Well, yeah, because they have to space out on the shooters. They don't have an athlete who can run through with Mel everywhere. So you really don't have to change a lot of anything, and your results can look a lot better. Sorry for that long-winded response. We got one more question, right, Chris?
We did.
I answered them all.
When you guys really started extending the defense there at the end, it seemed like the
Yeah.
energy went through the roof. Is there causation, or is that just kind of into the game?
You know, you're into the game. You're trying to rally a little bit. I thought our guys did a great job of that. You know, I'd have liked to have pressed more, but you know, we just didn't have a lot of guys to play with today. And then, you know, quite frankly, we've got one or two guys who we can't press and play the matchup with because they just can't process everything at a fast enough pace. So the couple times I wanted to play the matchup or press, we had the wrong lineups out there because of some foul trouble. So, you know, there's some limitations to what we can do with that sort of thing. And, you know, we'd have liked to have, you know, pressed a little bit and gotten the ball out of Copain's hands. He's so good. He's so solid and plays with good pace. So we'd have liked to have done it more. We just couldn't.
All right, guys.
So-
Bring players right in. Thanks, Coach.
Good.